Consistency is not something you are born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, habit by habit, day after day. It's the hidden discipline that separates those who dream from those who do. Force yourself to be consistent, even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when the world feels like it's falling apart around you. Because success is not a lightning strike. It's not some magical burst of motivation or a perfect day where everything aligns. It's the outcome of boring, repetitive, disciplined work done when no one is watching. The gym you force yourself to go to when it's raining. The study session you force yourself to do when your friends are out. The side hustle you build. At midnight when everyone else is asleep, that is where consistency lives. You don't have to be the best. You just have to show up every single day. Force yourself to show up when it's uncomfortable. When you don't see results, force yourself to trust the process. Most people quit not because they're incapable, but because they got tired of trying without immediate reward. Force yourself to resist that urge to stop. You build your body by showing up to the gym. You build your mind by showing up to learn. You build your career by showing up to grind. Force yourself to believe that consistency compounds. Every single step you take adds up, even if the results aren't visible yet. You don't climb a mountain in a leap. You take one step, then another, and some days all you'll have in you is a shuffle forward, and that's okay. What matters is that you didn't stop. Force yourself to push through the boredom, the repetition, the lack of validation, because this isn't about motivation, it's about self-respect. You said you wanted something, so prove it. Show up for yourself even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Force yourself to be consistent because your goals don't care how you feel. They only care whether you took action. There will always be a reason to procrastinate. There will always be a temptation to rest before you've earned it. But the people who win in life are the ones who said, "I don't feel like it," and did it anyway. Train your mind to follow through. Your future self is watching. They're counting on you to push through. Force yourself to live the habits now that match the life you say you want. Do not wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There's only today, and the choice to be consistent. Talent is great, but consistency is greater. Consistency beats inspiration, because inspiration fades. But consistency builds character, grit, and resilience. The real work begins when the mood disappears. Force yourself to keep going when the results aren't immediate, when the applause is missing, when it feels like no one cares. Because one day they will. And more importantly, you will. You'll look back and see that your discipline created freedom. Your consistency created momentum. You'll look back and be proud, not of one massive effort, but of the fact that you kept showing up when it would have been easier to quit. Life will test your patience. It will throw distractions, setbacks, and failures your way. But if you're consistent, truly consistent, those things won't break you, they'll shape you. Force yourself to see beyond today. The results you crave are on the other side of effort compounded over time. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They failed because they lacked consistency. Force yourself to stand out by showing up over and over again, until you become so reliable, so unshakable, that success becomes inevitable. Because success is never an accident, it's always a result of persistent, consistent, determined action. So build the habit. Show up when it's hard. Show up when it's boring. Show up when you'd rather quit. Because every time you do, you are reinforcing the version of yourself who doesn't break under pressure, who doesn't rely on mood, emotion, or external motivation, who decides once and follows through always. Force yourself to become that person. Force yourself to rise above the noise, the laziness, the comfort of quitting, because the path to greatness is paved with small, repeated actions. You don't need more motivation, you need more consistency. That's what turns ordinary people into legends. That's what builds businesses, transforms bodies, rewires minds, and creates lives that people admire. Show up. even when no one sees it, especially then, because your future isn't waiting for your motivation, it's waiting for your consistency. Consistency is not a skill you're born with, it's a force you build by waking up every single day and deciding you're going to follow through regardless of how you feel. Life isn't about waiting for the right mood or the perfect moment, because the truth is, most days won't feel right. You won't always feel like showing up, but that's the test. The people who rise, the people who make it, the people who grow stronger, wealthier, smarter, and more fulfilled, those are the ones who don't let emotion rule them. They force themselves to get up, to grind, to stay locked into their purpose, even when their mind screams for comfort. The biggest difference between winners and those who stay stuck is consistency, not talent. It's not about having the best resources, it's about being relentless with the resources you have. Every action you take compounds, every workout, every book read, every video filmed, every product launched, it's a brick laid down in the foundation of your future. And if you stop building when it gets hard, you'll never see the house completed. You'll never see the vision come to life. Forcing yourself to be consistent is about removing negotiation. You no longer ask, do I feel like doing this today? You've already decided the answer is yes. Discipline must override desire. The voice inside that wants to take it easy must be silenced by the voice that remembers your vision. Remember why you started. Remember the fire that got you moving in the first place. That dream, that goal, that reason, it still matters, and it will only come to life through your daily effort. Small, disciplined steps, taken with intention, lead to massive transformation. Don't chase motivation. Motivation fades. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. Consistency is what builds momentum, and momentum builds unshakable belief. You start to see results, you start to see changes, and once you do, that belief drives even more action. But the belief comes after the work, not before. You have to act like the person you want to become, long before you feel like that person. You have to embody the identity of someone consistent. Because the moment you truly become that person in your habits, your environment will begin to reflect it. Opportunities will multiply, your self-respect will grow, you'll stop betraying yourself, you'll stop starting over. And that's the power of forcing consistency. It saves you from a life of regret, the regret of potential wasted, the regret of promises made to yourself that you never kept. That's a deep kind of pain, the pain of knowing you had more in you, but you let it slip away. Don't let that be your story. Let your story be one of resilience, of determination, of showing up day after day, even when it hurt, even when it didn't make sense, even when no one else was watching, especially then. Because what you do in silence, when no one is clapping, is what shapes your destiny. Champions are built in the shadows. Legends are formed in the quiet moments when the average quit. Don't aim to be average. Aim to be relentless. Become someone who finishes what they start, who shows up no matter what. Be so consistent, they have no choice but to respect you. So consistent your results speak louder than any excuse ever could. You won't need to explain yourself. Your growth will do the talking. Your progress will prove the doubters wrong. But you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the future you. The version of you that's waiting on the other side of discomfort. The version of you that's proud, fulfilled, and finally aligned with their purpose. That version is real, but you have to earn it. Earn it with your habits, earn it with your discipline, earn it by refusing to give in when it gets hard. So wake up, show up, push forward, do it tired, do it scared, do it confused. Just don't stop, because consistency isn't just a habit, it's the path to your greatest self. Keep going. Consistency isn't something you stumble upon by chance. It's something you demand of yourself when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when the results aren't showing and the world feels like it's closing in. It's forged in silence, in solitude, in sacrifice. It's doing what you said you'd do long after the excitement has worn off and the initial motivation has faded. Everyone wants to be successful, but not everyone is willing to keep going when the applause stops. That's where the greats are separated from the average. It's in the reps you do when nobody's watching, in the work you put in after a long day, when you're running on fumes and still refuse to break the promise you made to yourself. You see, the world won't hand you a golden path because you decided to try hard for a week. The world rewards those who show up when it's inconvenient, when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's painful. Every day you push forward. You build the muscle of discipline, the character of resilience, and the strength of purpose. Because consistency isn't just a habit, it's a declaration. A declaration that you refuse to be a prisoner to your moods, your distractions, or your excuses. When you force yourself to be consistent, you create momentum, and momentum compounds. One good day turns into a good week into a productive month. And soon, you look back and see a legacy built by showing up even when it was the last thing you wanted to do. That's how greatness is made, not in flashes of brilliance, but in the grind of daily effort. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And consistency is the most powerful system there is. It's your anchor when storms hit, your compass when you feel lost, your engine when you're running on empty. It doesn't ask for perfection, it only demands that you don't quit. So if you're struggling today, just take the next step, and then the next. Keep moving forward, keep showing up, because every time you choose consistency over comfort, you get stronger, sharper, and closer to the version of yourself you were meant to be. Consistency is not something you are born with. It's a discipline you forge through repetition, through choice, and through relentless action. It's the act of showing up, even when everything in you wants to stay in bed, even when your body aches, your mind screams for rest, and your heart doubts the journey ahead. It's deciding again and again that the vision you hold for your future is worth the grind of today. When you wake up and it's cold, or when it's hot, or when it... So as you walk away from this moment, remember this. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about the courage to keep going when the motivation has faded, when the excitement is gone, when no one is watching and there's no applause. It's in those quiet hours, in the small, unseen choices where greatness is born. It's the voice that tells you to show up anyway, to train when you're tired, to focus when you're distracted, to speak life into your dreams, even when the world is silent. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum, and momentum builds habits, and habits shape destiny. Your life is the result of what you do daily, not what you do occasionally. Force yourself to be consistent, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because discipline equals freedom. And every time you conquer your excuses, you become stronger, clearer, sharper, better. This is how legacies are built, not overnight, but over time, through pain, through repetition, through the relentless pursuit of your purpose. So don't wait for the perfect time. Create it. Don't wait for permission. Grant it. Don't wait for someone to save you. Be the one who refuses to quit. It's time to take control of your path, to grind harder, to rise earlier, to push further, and to live with the kind of fire that doesn't burn out. Because when you force yourself to be consistent, you don't just change your habits, you change your life.